Okay, I hope the screen is also visible. So I hope you have prepared the checklist or the answers for all the relevant questions we had taken up last session. Okay, so today will be your last day. Doubt. So tomorrow we'll have Agile and Jira. Is that clear? Okay. Now coming to the translation. Okay, if you decide it to be 2 weeks also, then also your total number of working days, your plan should be only for 10 days. Okay, now let us estimate. Okay, so I have taken sprint 1. This is nothing but day 1, and this is nothing but day 10. Very first sprint, in the sense, usually nobody will be having a proper clarity of how the application will be, how the application should be working, should be looking, no idea. Okay, some people like your business owners, your product analyst, business analyst, product owners, and couple of your senior engineers who are domain expertise, they might be having around 35 to 40% of idea. Apart from that, nobody will be having an exact or proper picture how it is. Sometimes what happens, even for your customer also, it will be like a it's just an imagination story. Okay, whatever features he has seen, he has analyzed, he'll try to dump it in the project. Okay, it's not like exactly this is what he's looking at. Okay, and every sprint will be divided into two cycles. One is development cycle. Okay, one is development cycle, another one is testing cycle. Always remember, development cycle will be greater than testing cycle. Okay, always development cycle should be greater than testing cycle, because the time required for developing, creating a new feature is more compared to testing it. Okay, so by the starting, okay, by this time, by the time they decide we are going to start the first sprint, means prerequisites are like, you have already bought an epic from the customer. Okay, customer has given the epic, in the sense he has given you the requirements. Okay, it is ready, it is totally ready for you. Next, after giving the epic, you have broken down these into user stories. Okay, this is primary, you have to break them into user stories. Only then, only then a product backlog is made ready. In the sense, complete epic will be dumped into a product backlog in the priority order. And when you come to that sprint, you are going to start with sprint backlog. Okay, so before you start the sprint backlog should be ready, in the sense user stories which you are going to work in this particular sprint. So as a developer, see, even there might be couple of senior engineers, there might be couple of junior engineers, we never know, right? So senior engineers will be who has a domain knowledge, who are domain expertise. They might immediately start working on user story 1 and user story 2. Junior developers might be given a task of understanding the development, understanding the requirement. Okay, so basically, developers will be involved in development of user story 1 and user story 2. It depends on the sprint backlog what you have given or what you have decided in the meeting. Okay, so here in this example, I have taken 6 days to be development cycle and rest 4 days to be testing cycle. Now, developers are doing user story 1 and 2. What manual testers will be doing is they are going to have the CRS document. They'll be involved in understanding the CRS document. They'll be involved in writing the test cases to, okay, writing the test cases to user story 1 and user story 2. Developer is developing that, manual tester is writing test cases for that. What automation engineers will do is they cannot immediately write the script because we don't have test cases. We cannot automate the script because the application itself is not stable, it is not in the testing environment. So automation testers will be involved in analyzing the CRS, okay, analyzing the CRS, design of framework or choice of framework. Then starts your generic utility design. Okay, generic utility, usually what they do is they are going to pick it up from previously done projects. Okay, they are going to take it from previously done projects, and every application, some or the other feature will be new. Okay, some or the other web actions might be new. So for that they can create a library. Say for example, the developer customer says we want data to be stored in database only, we don't want Excel sheet. So for you might not be having library for database, so you can create it. Okay, so like that, whatever it is needed according to the current project, you have to alter the existing automation things. And accordingly, the senior testers, senior test engineers, automation consultants, technical architects, these people will prepare automation plan and automation strategy. What is plan or what is strategy is, so usually what happens, plan is a long term agenda, what you want to achieve. Strategy means a short term goal. Okay, so always remember, plan usually will not change, okay, because it will be made for long term. Strategy will keep on changing. If one of the strategy is not convincing, you can adapt another. You can take a meeting, immediate brainstorming meeting you can do. Okay, and you can adapt to another. I'll discuss this when we go to automation life cycle. But as of now, you can understand. So senior testers will be busy in designing automation plans, and junior test engineers will be involved in writing the CRS, I mean understanding the CRS, and automation consultants or framework developers will be involved in creating the framework, choice of framework, and creation of framework. So this is the roles of these three people in the development cycle. Now let's say 6 days are over. Now the application has been moved from development cycle to testing cycle. To testing cycle, I have moved the application in the sense we are we have got a build which is installed in testing server. Okay, so developer has given a build that is installed in testing server on the day one of testing cycle. That means on the day 7. Okay, after 6 days, 6 days complete, he should give the build and it should be involved in testing, installed in testing server. From that day, your testing phase starts. Now, what are you going to do in the testing phase of or test cycle of sprint 1? Similarly, we'll understand developer has already given the build for user story 1 and user story 2. So what he is going to do? He is going to create or he is going to start the development of user story 3 and user story 4. Some of them will be involved in development of new features. Manual test cases have been written already for user story 1 and 2. What these manual testers will do is they will start executing the test cases for user story 1 and user story 2. 110% manual testers will get more defect. So what these people are going to do, they are going to raise the defects. Some of the developers will be involved in fixing those defects. Some test engineers, manual testers, will be involved in testing or executing the test cases of user story 1 and 2, whereas some might be involved in writing user story 3 and user story 4. Okay, so what you have to observe here is developers and manual testers will always go hand in hand, okay, together. What he is doing, he is going to write a test case, but automation engineers will be always one step behind. Okay, now as an automation tester, what I will do is my framework choice is done. I'll go for hybrid framework, I'll go for TDD approach, generic utilities are contributed, ready. Now what I have to do? I have got the build in the testing environment. Only at this point of time I can create my POM classes. Okay, previously I cannot do because every element has to be located. If you have to locate it, you have to inspect it. If you have to inspect it, it should be present in your server. So if you don't have the application, you cannot perform any action. So I will wait until testing cycle to create POM classes. So I will take help of all the automation testers and immediately for complete user story 1 and 2, we are going to develop the POM classes. Is it clear what you are going to do in sprint 1? Basically speaking, if you are an automation tester with less than 3 years of experience, nowhere in sprint 1 you have any job. Okay, so usually what these people will do is your senior test engineers or your company. So what they usually they hire junior engineers. Okay, maybe like 3 years or less than 3 years after 2 to 3 sprints. Until then, they'll not hire at all. That is first point. Others, if they have already hired, then they'll give CRS and they'll ask you to do some analysis. How do you understand? Provide KT, that, this, and all. They might ask you to do. But automation related stuff rare in sprint 1. Okay. Now, also remember, by the end of this current sprint, user story 1 and user story 2 test cases are executed, defects are fixed, and it is stable. Okay, user story 1 and user story 2 will become stable. Similarly, when you come to second sprint, okay, you would have decided user story 5, 6 because he has already developed 3 and 4. Manual testers will execute scripts for user story 3 and 4. Couple of them will write test cases for 5 and 6. And developer is going to fix the defects of 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now automation testers, what they will do is everything is ready. At this point, they are going to start the scripting. Scripting of what? User story 1 and 2 because 3 and 4 are not yet stable. Please understand. So they'll start writing test cases for user story 1 and 2. And once after that is done, when you go to testing cycle, same process. process continues. So if you analyze, manual testers and developers will be always together compared to your automation. Automation will be one step behind because we can automate only the user stories which are stable. Okay, because automation is done to check the regression scenarios. If you have to check the regression scenarios, that means you should already have a working feature. With that, you should have either a bug fixing or a new feature. Okay, it is just an additional features. But majorly, what you should have, okay, working feature you should have. So this is how your current sprint goes. Okay, what is your role in first sprint? So if they ask you, then if you are 3 plus engineer, you can tell I was involved in writing generic libraries. Okay, my manager had given me a task. And if you are less than 3 years, then you can tell I was given CRS document and I was walking through that document. Okay, walk through and go through were happening. Okay, for every sprint they are going to do this. Okay, in agile terms we call it as walk through and go through. Walkthrough means they will give you the document and they will ask you to analyze. Go through means you are going to tell what you have analyzed. Okay, what is your agenda? What you have understood by this? That you have to build it to them. Okay, we call it. Some people also call it as reverse. KT. Whatever you have understood, you have to explain it. You have to give it in a same way to them. Okay, so this is how your sprints are going to be running. Is it clear? One second. Okay, so I have a couple of questions. So brief yourself, tell about yourself. I think this I have already discussed. Roles and yeah, that is in the same question. Why are you switching the company? So your answer will be like I'm not changing the company. Test Yantra is trying to deploy me. I have already discussed. So what is your roles and responsibilities? You can just take a picture. I will not share the document. Okay, I cannot share the document. Take a picture of it if you want.
Please scroll it up.
No, that only roles and responsibilities you take. That's fine. Because in that image I have written it better. Okay. Okay, couple of points are there. You can go through it. So this is what I wanted to explain. Okay. So just like how you have SDLC, STLC, okay, software development lifecycle, software test lifecycle. Okay, we have ATLC. ATLC stands for Automation Test Lifecycle. In the sense, what point you have to start automation? Okay, what is your starting point? What and all you have to do? Everything has been consolidated and given in your ATLC. And if you are going for SDLC, so requirement gathering will be your first step, correct? Initial step. step number one. Similarly, if you go for STLC also, understanding system study becomes your step number one. But but whereas ATLC, the first step is your manual test case. That itself we are going to call it as requirement gathering. For automation process, collection of manual test cases is the starting step for your ATLC process. Now, what is this ATLC if you ask me? Okay, what is this ATLC if you ask me? So, these manual test cases can be stored in multiple locations, maybe like using Excel sheet, using some test management tools like HP, no, HPLM, agala, QC, or Jira. Okay, these kind of tools can be used. So, most preferably, people adopt for Jira because it's a complete project management tool, or else you can also make use of Excel sheet. That is also a better option. Okay, so this is your step number one, requirement gathering. After requirement gathering, so you will be having a, discussion with your customer about what are the pros, what are the cons, okay, what you have to do further, okay, how much scope of automation is there in the project, will you recommend automation, okay, all these things you are going to discuss. And you will have to take a NOC certificate. All these certifications maybe like this is the framework you are using, this is the tools you have to use, all these things you are going to discuss at this point of time with your customer. Okay, so this you can term it as automation strategy in the sense it's just a short term plan what you are making. Okay, so and all the documentation purpose, your agreements. Okay, because you are telling when you go for automation, you'll be having around 2000 test cases. In that 2000 test cases, if 500 got failed, what you have to do? If 200 got failed, what you have to do? In the sense, no doubt you will debug. But if this happens when you are at the release, what you have to do? Okay, so he will give a margin for you. Okay, even if 20% of the test cases got failed, so we are okay to release the product unless there are no critical things, there are no blocker defects. Okay, like this, you and the customer will come to a agreement. Okay, agreement in the sense you can tell a formal discussion which is on papers. Okay, so once after these discussions are done, commitment is done, then you will go for selection of the tools. So at this point, your customer will be very clear about the requirement. Okay, he is going to tell you, no boss, I have, this is my intention, this is what I want. Why tool selection is important is depend, or why tool selection depends on application. You can tell, ma'am, all web application we can use WebDriver. It's not the case. Okay, how the application has been developed. Say for example, take any e-commerce application. Okay, Amazon or Flipkart. So you can easily use WebDriver methods. Correct? Selenium is operatable. Similarly, if you take Google Maps and all, lot of SVG tags are there. Lots of canvas images are there. So for that, your WebDriver doesn't work. You need to make use of QTP or a SQLite. Okay, so if it is a desktop application, you cannot use WebDriver. Okay, you have to use QTP. Okay, if there are a lot of file uploading, you need to use AutoIT, like third party tools. So whatever tools you need, okay, because if those tools are licensed, your customer is going to pay for the license, not the company. Okay, so at this point itself, you have to decide. So this will be taken care by automation architect, automation consultant, team lead. Okay, these people, usually 15 plus years, 12 plus years of experience, will be involved in this. Once after the tool selection is confirmed by you and the developer, customer. So when they feel, yeah, this is okay, this is good, we can proceed. When all their doubts and discussions are cleared out through meetings, Then we will go for POC. POC means proof of concept. What is this proof of concept is? Okay, so why we are doing this separately, you can ask me, ma'am, it's a part and parcel of the project. No, automation will be separately billable in the sense, development, with development manual testing will be given mandatorily. After manual testing, if you have to automate those, then customer will give you separate bill. That's why automation testers are in demand. Okay, that's why their salaries are also good. Okay, so what is this proof of concept is? Manual test cases are ready. Customer will pick up some 50 or 100 scenarios which are literally complex. Okay, maybe some end-to-end scenarios, some integration scenarios. Usually complex scenarios will be taken and will be given it to you as a company. Okay, he would have been committed. Okay, he has used Wipro for developing the application. Okay, Wipro engineers only have written the test cases also. Now he want to automate. What he is going to do is, he will give the automation contract to Wipro also, he will give it to test Yantra also. What he is going to do is, he will give the requirement, test cases, application, everything. He will going to ask, boss, you develop the POC and give me a demo. He will tell you. He will tell you the same thing. He will tell Wipro also same thing. Imagine you wanted a proper BDD TDD approach. You will go. You will develop a framework. You will automate those 10 scenarios. You will make use of Excel sheet to read the data. You will make use of property file to read the common file. You will make use of SQL to upload the auto IT to upload the images. Okay, like this. TestNG basically. You will make use of it, and you are going to develop the framework. And with that framework, you should also execute those test cases, and you should make it a point. Okay, it is working. In the customer demo, it is working. Even the Wipro also will do the same thing. Okay, instead of TDD, he would have gone for BDD. Instead of Excel sheet, he would have used database. It is his wish. Okay, depending on his analysis, he is going to use it. Customer can decide whose framework is better, where I should give it to him, okay, what I should give it to them. So he can decide, and he is going to freeze it. Say, for example, he was looking for TDD itself. So he will freeze Test Yantra, and he is going to provide approval to the framework developed by Test Yantra. Okay, approval in the sense, he is going to give SOW. SOW means statement of work. That means, boss, I'm happy with your framework. So this is the changes you have to do. Okay, don't use Excel sheet, use database. Like that, he can give you some, instructions, and then he will ask you to update. With this POC, what happens? You will be able to see how the applications are working. Okay, through automation tool. What are the framework you have chosen? What are the tools you have chosen? Are they working fine or not? Tool support is good or not? What are the extra technical challenges you are facing? So since the framework is ready, how many skilled resources you want? All these analysis, we will be doing it in proof of concept. Please do remember, proof of concept will be usually done. Okay, if you get a chance, you are the lucky one. But usually it will be done by 5 plus engineers. 5 plus engineers will be involved in this. This is like getting a project to the company. Okay, so if you tell I was involved in POC and we got the project, that means there is a contribution of you in getting the project to the company. Okay, that's a good thing. So POC means, after POC, your project can be selected or the customer can withdraw the project. Both are possible. Okay, some people, what they do, they'll try to avoid this POC. they'll give a full term commitment to the company. Say, for example, the developer, the tester, everybody from a same company itself. What some people will do is they want to switch to another company, or they only might be developing the application. So, for automation, they want to take some help. Both are possible. Okay. So, once after this POC is approved, that means officially you got the project into your hands. Then you are going to start. Okay, when you have to start the automation, what is the point? Okay, say for example, uh, you know, mm, whenever you got any test cases, what is the functionality testing entry criteria for automation? What is exit criteria for automation? If what is a percentage of bugs that can be retained before moving into another sprint? Okay, how many percentage of regression test cases are analyzed? All these things you will make it in a plan. Then you are going to segregate the test cases which are automatable and which are non-automatable. This will be usually done by automation lead. Sometimes senior engineers also will be involved. Then you are going to check the framework, because framework development is already happened in POC. So you are going to re-verify for that particular test case or test script or user story. Form is updated, libraries are updated. Okay, you are going to verify that. Then all the automation engineers will be involved in development of test scripts. Once after the test scripts become stable, you are going to give it to senior automation engineers for the purpose of reviewing. You are going to fix the review comments. This will move for a couple of cycles. Once after everything is 100% approved, then you are going to push it to the repository. Usually this is a master repo. Okay, it will be pushed, and from this point Jenkins will automatically start the execution. After execution, you are going to get the execution report. You will be involved in analysis of the execution. Then you will be involved in tracking, raising the regression defects, then tracking the regression defects, maintenance of test scripts, everything. So until this, okay, this automation plan to script maintenance, it is a revoking process. Okay, it keeps on moving ahead. It's a cycle. But these things are freezed, one time done for per project. Okay, because if any tools are wrong, if any frameworks choice is wrong, everything they'll get to know in the POC itself. Okay, every analysis will be done in POC itself. So if POC is approved and you are started with the test script development, means you are on the safer side. All the issues and problematic things are over. Okay, so this is about automation test lifecycle. So you know this, but the thing is, how to answer it in the interview question. They'll not ask whether you are involved, because hardly 3 years, 4 years. What I suggest is, even if you are above 5 years, also not required to tell that you are involved in POC or anything. The reason is quality of questions will be more if you go for that. Second thing is, if you don't handle, then they will doubt on your experience itself. Okay, so what you can do is, we had a lot of senior analysts and senior testers, so I did not get a chance to be involved in that. So given a chance, definitely I'll prove myself that this, no hooking stories. So you can, okay, provide that. Okay, don't tell you are involved in any of the things. Just this is for your piece of information. Okay. So next, what is not automatable in your previous project? I think I have discussed. Okay. So here the point is, don't give one line answer. Explain it with respect to your framework. Take a picture. So what are the challenges you faced as an automation engineer? I think this also I have already discussed. Okay, this is not a challenge. For 5 plus years you can, this is the roles and responsibilities actually, but it is in the same image. So it's fine, even if you don't tell it also, it's fine that you were involved in POC. So I think I have discussed. Okay. So the next question is, explain few complicated scenarios which you have automated in your previous project and explain what was the challenge. You can take some end-to-end scenario and you can hook up or write a nice story on this. Explain one critical bug which you got via automation. So bug means, don't tell critical bug. Organization button was not clickable. Okay, organization link was not clickable. No, they are all, they will be stable before coming to automation. Don't tell they are the issues. What you have, where, what is the point is, you should explain some inner features. Okay, say for example, take your vTiger application. Don't tell home page things, because home page will be stable very long back. Before coming to automation itself, it will be stable. Okay, and rare cases. So maybe for example, you're going to the time. Okay, this is not the world clock. 1 second. Okay, you are going to the chat list, but it's a pop up. So this pop up is an Ajax. So you were not able to automate this. This can be a non-automatable scenario, and you are going to create organization. Okay, while creating organization, it is asking for the shipping address, even though it is a non-mandatory field. Okay, so you can still raise it. Okay, actually, billing address and shipping address should be different. Whether it is different or not, you can check it. Okay, so you will click on copy shipping address or copy billing address. That is not operating. All these things you can raise it. Okay, so assign to default should be user, but mandatorily you have to click on the group. So that feature is not working. Like that, try to confuse them. Okay, confuse or convince, do whatever you want, but make sure it is, he should not think it is easily, present, it is easily available. Okay, get inside the application and check it out. What is your daily activities? I have discussed. So these things I have given it in the document. Okay. Next is this short-term projects and long-term project. So whatever your project is, so according to that, let me give an idea. Okay, long-term projects in the sense the duration will be minimum 2 years and it can extend up to 5 plus years plus maintenance. Okay, so domains such as CRM, ERP, supply chain management, e-commerce. Okay, all these will come under long-term projects. Short-term projects in the sense minimum duration is only 6 months. Within a 6 months, you can provide a working piece of software. Maximum duration is 2 years. Based on this, you have to freeze which is your application. Okay, maybe like HRM, okay, human resource management system, BSFI, banking or finance, healthcare. Okay, so your real estate, your job portal, all these will come under short term project. What is the process you follow? Agile. Okay, what is the sprint and release duration? So the duration what I have discussed here, stick to that, because in this document this thing is wrong. Okay, so stick to that. How many test cases you had in your previous project? For long term it will be
अरे, हेलो। हाँ हाँ। और क्या चल रहा है? हाँ, यहीं पे हूँ। अच्छा। हाँ। अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा। हम्म। हाँ, ठीक है। मैं देखूँ। बताओ। कल कल आ जाऊँगा। आज आ जाता हूँ मैं आज। मेरे को 1 डेढ़ घंटा लग जाएगा। पैन कार्ड की कॉपी चाहिए। अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा। हम्म। अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा। तो तो अभी कहाँ हो गए, वहाँ घर पे कि वहाँ मुनर का? अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा। तो फिर मैं द्वारका ही आता हूँ फिर, है ना? ठीक। हाँ, ठीक ठीक ठीक। हाँ, मैं आ जाता हूँ। हाँ, इतना लटका दिया, बताओ, फिर लटका दिया। चलो। ठीक। ओके।
Okay. Okay. I'm really sorry, guys. Due to some network issue, I think my call got disconnected. So where did we stop? Where did I stop previously before the disconnect happened? Okay, fine. So basically, complete automation or anything, it will be on the estimation, which is going to be done by your managers. Okay. So manager is responsible for how peacefully you can complete the project. Okay. So basically speaking, so if you take more duration for a project, if you tell it's okay, let me give some extra time. So what happens is buffering is always good, but if it is too much, there are chances couple of other companies might have quoted less time. So that time your project might be rejected. If you feel enthusiastic and if you give shorter duration, if you feel we can complete it earlier, then the problem is you will have to make your engineers, make your team to work more. So again, there are chances they might leave the company. Okay, so estimation is a little tricky job. At the same time, this decides how peacefully your work will go ahead. Okay, so this is another question. What is your automation estimation for 100 manual test case? That means the question means first understand the question. He is telling, I'm going to give you 100 manual test cases. What is your approach? How will you start the automation, or what is the estimation you are going to give? Estimation in the sense per person, how many days are needed per person. So, what you have to do is don't think all 100 test cases are minor. Minor in the sense less number of steps. Don't think all the test cases are, all 100 test cases are end to end. So nobody will tell you 20 are major, 60 are minor. Nobody will tell you. You should assume always the if you take a ratio, around 60% will be minor test cases. Simple, because they are all functionality related test cases. So I'm going to take 60 minor, 20 medium, 20 major. Major in the sense complete end-to-end scenario. So if you, according to our estimation, one end-to-end scenario, you can automate only one test case per day. So 20 scenarios, 20 days. If you take 22 to 2.5 test case per day also, for medium, you need 7 days. So you can automate 3 to 4 per day, minor. So you can need 14. This is just a lame number, okay? Analysis on an average or might be. So overall, if you calculate around 40 days per person to automate 100 test cases. Similarly, if you take 200 test cases, you need 80 days per person. 400 test cases, you need, okay, around 160 days for person. Then they are going to divide it by per person estimation. Say for example, like I decided around 500 test cases are there, so 4 into 5, 200 days per person I need. So if you divide 200 by 40 days, how many persons you need? 5 persons. Okay, so like this they are going to do the estimation. How long automation batch execution takes place? Let me take this as a question. Okay, execution duration of batch suit. Okay, execution duration, or I can take it as I'll take it as maximum execution duration. Okay, usually in the first sprint and all, you will not get to know. Okay, batch, or I will take it as full regression suit. Okay, full regression suit, it should be somewhere around 7 to 8 hours. Okay, 7 to 8 hours. The reason is full regression means we are not clear about the impacted areas, so we have decided to run everything. That is your full regression, or you can also call it as batch. This is the maximum duration. Usually in the first sprint or second sprint, it will be 1 year, 1 hour, 1.5 hour, 2 hours. So maximum duration is 7 hours. Similarly, if you take maximum execution duration of smoke suit, okay, it will be hardly 1 to 2 hours. Okay, because if you take a test case, okay, let's say I had around 2200 test cases. Out of that, 250 to 300 will be smoke. Rest all 1900 will be regression. Okay, so if you take total test cases as 2000, 200. Always remember 2200 in the sense 25 to 30% is a smoke. Rest 80% will be regression. Maximum 20 to 25, somewhere in this range. Okay, so this is a total execution duration given. Maximum is 8 to 9 hours, 7 to 8 hours, somewhere in that range. How many defects you have found? Okay, in a year, 100 to 200 regression defect we can get via automation. Okay, all including all the modules, entire automation team you can take it, but divide this number by your team size for your individual contribution. Automation team size, say for example 100 by 4 I will do. So individual contribution is 25 defects you have found. Okay, so like this I have prepared a document. I'll share it in the group. All managerial questions related to automation I have posted it here. Okay, 1 second, let me post it. Project related questions. Just like how I gave it for API, I have given it for Selenium also, so that if you prepare this document, it will help you for a long run. Okay, whenever you want to go for any interview, you can just walk through this and you can face the interview. Any doubts in this? Do one thing, answer these questions so that you will get the doubts. Okay, and tomorrow I'm not going to take the session, so anybody from the team will be taking Agile and Jira. So any doubts related to Jira or Agile, if you have, please get it clarified then and there itself. So first half they'll be taking Agile, and second half they'll be taking Jira. So I have given you the glimpse of Agile, but it will be done in more detail. So how it is required for Jira, because Jira is basically a tool which is going to have your Scrum board. So Agile board will be there. So you have to have a clear picture on that. So they'll take care. Tomorrow maybe you'll be having session from morning itself. So be prepared, and I'll tell them to create a Google Meet link and to share that link with you. So it will be shared with you. Okay, join the meeting and don't miss the session. Anybody has any questions? I'll share it. It's-
Yes, ma'am, we have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
And interviews, work from home interviews will be there or not?
Every requirement I will post it in the group. Okay, that's the only medium of communication. As and when I get the requirements, I'll be posting it in the group and we will try to verify.
Ma'am, when will you have one of MDocs interview?
Amdocs, yeah, maybe tomorrow is Friday, right? From Monday, you might get an update on this, because Amdocs related Java and expat grooming should be taken by Prakash. Okay, probably Monday he will plan and he will give a date to the client. Okay, these candidates are ready on this particular date. Okay, usually Amdocs interviews will be happening only on Thursdays. Okay, Thursdays and Fridays, weekends they are going to do. So let us see. We can expect next week. Only 3 profiles have been shared. I think Tushar, Vikas, and Anubhav. Only 3 profiles have been shared. So we are waiting. Okay. So whatever it is, Monday next week you are going to get an update on that.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, it is very difficult to remember this all things at once, ma'am. For me, ma'am.
Don't remember it at once.
Ma'am,
Answer the
it
question.
is like I have not done it originally, so how I can remember this all things and and convince the interviewer that this thing is going to work like this. That is the point, ma'am. I'm facing this
See,
problem.
Vikas, it's a known truth that you have not worked on it. I
Yeah.
know that you know it. But if you have to express to yourself as if you have worked, you have to put in some effort now. You use your strategy. Okay, however, you want to by heart it, you want to recall it anyhow. Okay, I'll give you an example. There was a girl. Okay, her name I forgot. She was from North India. She was feeling it very difficult to remember the things. Okay, and obvious, these are all managerial questions. You have to remember. Okay, that's the only thing. How it is like, you should by heart and you should remember the points, but while you are answering, nobody should feel that you have by hearted. Okay, it should be just like how we are discussing. Okay, it's just a normal talk. So what she used to do is, every point in roles and responsibility, she used to hold the first letter. Okay, so in any interview she go, she used to write that. So while answering, she used to look at those points and she used to talk. Okay, she used to make a note: I, J, Q, A, B, C, something like that. So all the first letters of each sentences she used to copy. Okay, recall it, remember, and write it out. So any strategy you use, no problem, but you have to remember. Okay, what you can do is try to understand the process. As an automation engineer, what is your job? What you have to do? That things you write it in your own words. Make a paragraph or a page. Write it in your own words. Okay, this is what I have done. This is what I have to do. Write it in your own words. When you write it, what happens? It stays in your mind. Okay, somewhere in some interview, it will help you. So hook up a story, nice story you write and keep it. Once you write, if you are not still comfortable, again you write. Again you write. Okay, it will be helpful for you.
Ma'am, it is just not only the magical round, right? It will be like the core Java section, the Selenium section.
Everything.
Will be that things will be recalled, and it will be very difficult to keep this all things at once. That is the point.
Yes, ma'am. When they will ask around the number of test cases, that's also a big task for ma'am. How I will be.
It's like, ma'am,
Everything is mixed up.
yeah, ma'am, everything is mixed up.
See, guys,
Ma'am,
trust me. Tell me, Vikas.
ma'am, it is like whatever we have done in test and sessions, like we have executed test cases, we have done in the Jenkins, whatever the tools we have used. That all things, whatever I have done, that I can confidently answer. But the thing, this all things, it will be like messed up, ma'am. That is the point.
You have to come up with your some strategy, guys, because this is not your problem. Okay, every candidate will tell me the same thing when we are about to finish the session. Okay, because what happens, we would be, at least you people, I am taking session only for 2 hours. Imagine every day, morning to evening, you were doing the same thing. Okay, morning to evening, we were, filling up the things. It happens. I'm telling you, it's totally natural. It's not like only you are facing it. But trust me, give 2 client interviews. You will only tell, ma'am, please schedule it faster, ma'am. I have anyways read it. I want to omit it in front of interviewer. Okay, I don't want time. I don't want to relax. That's how your attitude will change. So start the process first. Start reading. Start revising from manual testing until API, until rest assured. With these managerial questions, it's like, try to talk about yourself with your, with the mirror, or with your parents, with your siblings, anybody who is there. Try to express yourself. Okay, try to ask them, how do you feel? They don't know anything. They don't know anything about you. Okay, anything they don't know technically. So try to talk to them. Okay, these things, they might give you some points, some
Ma'am,
thought that will help you. And coming to technical stuff, yeah.
Ma'am, if we are unable to crack client interview, then what will be the second approach?
We'll give you a couple of interviews. But for your batch, you cannot get into any internal projects. Okay, you have to crack client interviews only. There is no limit in clients. Okay, there is no limit. It's not like only 3 interviews, 2 interviews, nothing like that.
But ma'am,
So-
earlier you told that if we will not face in client location, then you will provide us internal projects also.
Yeah, internal projects also. But if you are ready to come to Bangalore, okay,
Yeah, ma'am.
all the internal projects are ongoing in Test Yantra. They expect you to be physically present. So if you are ready to come, definitely you can give an interview. Okay, depending on their requirement.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am. Coming to Bangalore won't be a problem, ma'am.
That also I will post it in the group.
Yeah.
Okay, if I get any requirements on internal projects also,
Sure, ma'am.
I will post it.
Ma'am,
Yeah,
what
okay.
about ma'am? Ma'am, what about the second slot for the MDoc
The
interview?
first slot people only they are still waiting there. Once we will wind it up with them. Only after the interview they will ask for next set. Okay. So first let's see. Let us check it out.
Ma'am, like as Vikas said, we can manage with the technical questions related to all the things, but just we are
Yes,
worried about
ma'am.
the cross question on project, ma'am. Like how many test cases done, how many you automated, like that. This is the biggest confusion. I'm still stuck in that, ma'am.
Lo, answer those questions. Lo, I have given you the questions. See, I understand it is not impossible, right? To first interview you did not answer those questions. Second interview, obviously you will get that thought. Yes, I have to answer this, or you will get that average. You have automated the test cases now. At least based on that, you can estimate something. See, for 3 years, 4 years, and all, no, you need not have to be perfect in everything. Don't think, what if I don't answer, what will happen? Nothing like that. But at least you should have some courage to explain about yourself or to explain about the test cases, test scripts. Even though it is wrong, not a problem. Nobody will scold you. Every plan, every strategy is different. Every project is different. Every manager is different. So you can easily defend yourself. This is what happened. This is what I was doing, but at least it should be in the range. Okay, somewhat it should be in the range. Okay, that's why I'm telling you, sit and write answers to those questions. Individually you write, individually you think, okay, what I have to do, how many test cases I can write. Okay, so this create organization test case had only 4 steps, so I can automate around 3 to 4 test cases per day. What if I have 20 steps? 4, 4, 4. That means I need at least one complete day to automate one test case. That analysis you should get. You take, Kausaf. How many interviews you want, you take. As and when I'm getting the drive, I'll be giving it to you. Take it, no problem. But don't make the same mistake in every interview. Okay, from interview to interview, at least you should have some improvement. And trust me, guys, for your batch, I'm not. For other batches and all, what I was doing is from morning 10:30 if I start the session, okay, until 2:30, 2 o'clock it will be having. Again from 3:30 if I start the session until 6 o'clock we used to take it. But for your batch it is only 2 hours. So what did you do in the rest of the time? What did you do? Now you are telling it's difficult, ma'am. We are not able to grasp. We are not confident. Forget about these managerial questions. Technically, also, if I take an interview now, technically also there are some people who will not answer. My question is, after 2 hours, what you have done? Correct, no? You should have some, professional ethics. You should have, yes, I need this job. If you have that zeal only, then you can perform. Otherwise, you will not. Not 5 or 6. If I give 20 interviews also, you will not crack it. If you have that kind of an attitude. That's what I'm telling. Every day upgrade, every day learn. You have invested your time, right? Past 7 months, 8 months. Some people, back in 2021, you have joined Test Yantra. Q Spiders. From that point, whatever you have done, someone told me, ma'am, in Test Yantra, whatever it is done, I'm able to remember. Before that, I don't know. It is whose mistake? Test Yantra, you have done it. That means basic Selenium you have not worked. You have to know. You got to know. Okay, I'm not able to remember WebDriver methods. Write it every day. Practice it every day. I'm not able to remember the syntax of weights. Practice it. Ample amount of time we have given it to you, right? No problem. See, for me, no loss, guys. Providing 6, 7 or 10 to 12 requirements also, not a problem for me. But you are losing the client. Are you able to understand? You are losing the client. Don't do that. Okay? Try to give in more effort. Try to put some effort here. If you work hard for another 1 week, everything will be sorted. You will get a job easily. please do something regarding our LOE because Pavitra ma'am is not receiving. See, guys, I'm at home. I don't have any contact. I called Lakshmi a couple of times and I told this is the issue they are facing. So please take care. That's when she dropped a message in the group. Okay, again I will inform her. Okay, even I am not in touch with Pavitra. Okay, I have to call either Lakshmi or Madheshwari only. Okay, what is the issue? What is the problem you are facing? Try to communicate with Lakshmi only, na? So that issue, if it is common, she can communicate with Pavitra. Any company you go, HRs will be like this. Okay, communicate the problem with Lakshmi itself. Okay, this point is not.
Lakshmi ma'am also not receiving the call, ma'am.
Mageshwari, you try. Even she is not picking up.
No, not trying for Mageshwari.
1 second, wait. Okay. Yeah, fine, guys. Just now I had a call with Lakshmi. So, what she told me is she has already informed Pavitra regarding this issue and she has told Pavitra to pick up the calls. Today, couple of people are joining. Okay, Monday and Thursday joining will be done. So, that is the reason she is not picking up the call. Okay, that's what I got the response. So, what I planned is tomorrow morning you'll be having Agile and Jira session. Before that, anyways, the trainer is going to create a link and share it to you to join in the Google Meet. So he will also ask Pavitra to join. So initial 20, 25, 30 minutes. So she'll guide you, she'll clear all your doubts, and then we will proceed with the session. Okay? Then the trainer is going to carry on with the session. Yeah, sure. Okay, is it fine? So keep all
Yes,
your
ma'am.
doubts tied up. So tomorrow I'll make sure this happens. Okay? Yeah. Okay. Fine, guys.
Ma'am, one question.
Tell me, Ayush.
Ma'am, please open the paint in the task. I need to take one picture. Please scroll up. That's it.
Take pictures, but don't share these with anybody. Okay? So if they want it, let them also attend. Not a problem. But don't share it. It's for your reference. You want me to scroll down?
That's it, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. I think these are already taken, right?
Yes.
Okay. Fine, guys. Okay. Fine, guys. We'll wind it up for today. So tomorrow morning, so we'll check out the time. We'll drop a text in the group, but we make sure you are available from morning itself.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine, guys. Thank you so much. So we'll see if any API grooming is needed. Then I'll be pitching into the batch. Otherwise, Prakash or Mohan or Sanjay, Guru will take care of it. Okay. So all the best, guys. Any questions regarding Selenium or API or any tools, any managerial related question, drop it in the group. I'll help you out. Okay, don't hesitate. Even a small doubt is also a doubt. Okay, get it clarified. Bhargavi, if you ask we will get now means what I should tell? You will get it. You will get it. Okay, so officially I'm releasing your batch. So I hope all your resumes have been shared to Lakshmi, because that day I got an update that only 13 of them have reached. So if it is not there, then obviously I cannot give you any requirements. Okay, your resume should be with Lakshmi at any cost. Okay, so someone had shared it to me for reviewing, mailed me. So I have reviewed it. So please share it to Lakshmi. Okay, so fine, guys.
Ma'am, many of us did not receive any email regarding the LOI and offer letter.
That's what. Tomorrow we'll get it clarified. Tomorrow I'll ask Pavitra to join the meeting, and she'll guide you. If you have not received, she'll send it to you. Okay, please raise that in the meeting tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, fine, guys. We'll wind it up for